Hello everybody, Harrison101 back at it once again with a brand new video. And here is part 4 of my Formula 1 2011 career mode playthrough. And we are, like I said in part 3, we are now in Malaysia. Look at the Kuala Lumpur circuit. Been a staple of Formula 1 now since 2001. Which is actually odd considering this is still one of the newer tracks overall on the calendar, yet it's now actually, I think, 10 years old in terms of Formula 1 history. Goes to show you how much the sport's evolving and how many new locations they're going to and, you know, things like that. I mean, look, in the last 5 years we've had the night race at Singapore, we've had Abu Dhabi enter the calendar, we've had the new India Grand Prix make the calendar, and in case you're unaware, if you've been keeping up with the Formula 1 news, but there's going to be a United States Grand Prix. Yes, Formula 1 is heading back to the States next season in 2012. It's not going to be Indianapolis though, like it was like in the early parts of the last decade, up to 2007, especially considering that famous fast fiasco where only 6 cars started in 2005. They're building a brand new track at, I think somewhere in Austin, Texas, down south. They're building a brand new racetrack to incorporate the sport specifically for 2012. I'm not quite sure what to make of that, to be honest, because, well, mainly because America already has some nice racetracks, which I think with a bit of simple renovation works and a little bit more catering would be ideal for Formula 1. I think the Road America circuit would be great for Formula 1. I think it's a great little track, but I think the problem is they don't have enough fans to sit around there. I don't think there's very many grandstand sections where they could get maybe 70, 80 to 100,000 fans in there. I mean, some of the bigger tracks like Catalonia and other examples kind of think of Catalonia, Shanghai, where they've got this huge grandstand sections about which you can automatically get like 40, 50,000 in. Or Malaysia, like here down the street, where you can get like 2 massive complete lines of grandstands right there and then. I don't think Road America really has that, so I think they might struggle for fans. Laguna Seca is another one which I'd love to see Formula 1 go around, but the track is kind of small. First of all, I think Formula 1 cars will probably be doing laps about a minute, just over a minute probably, because that track is ridiculously short. And in today's modern day Formula 1 cars, they'd probably be blowing around there in a minute, so you'd be looking at something like maybe an 85-90 lap race. It would be pretty crazy. And again, the track's kind of old-fashioned, there's not very many places for fans. Again, that seems to be a problem across the board for American tracks in Formula 1, or the famous American tracks, besides maybe Indianapolis and, you know, the big NASCAR events where they just line the whole outside with fans and they're good to go. Infineon Raceway I think would be ideal though. I love Infineon Raceway. I've played a lot of it in Forza 4. It's a great circuit. I'm not sure about capacity, but I love the track, despite the fact it's a bit bumpy and it's got a lot of sudden ground changes. I mean, it suddenly shoots uphill and it suddenly goes back down again. That could be a problem with Formula 1 cars and their modern suspension and their ride heights and things like that, but hey, if you can have Spa and have that massive Eau Rouge bend now, I guess why not? Anyway, talking more about the gameplay and Malaysia itself, I'm not a big fan of the Malaysia circuit for some reason. It's never really been that fun with me. So what I did was, I didn't film this obviously, but I actually did about 30 practice laps around here in this car, getting ready for this qualifying session. I wanted to make sure I was spot on, mainly for a few reasons. First of all, the qualifying last time around in Melbourne, I was really disappointed with that 18th place. You know, being unable to crack those higher grid positions. I thought I could have got top 10 maybe if you know, the car was working right and I got a good lap in, but it just didn't work out. And the fact that I was 18th, I was really disappointed by that. And I really didn't want to do that again for Sepang, so I just took the time and, you know, really wanted to work on, you know, hard tyre laps, soft tyre laps, without DRS, with DRS, KERS on, KERS off, and I just wanted to practice and, you know, get things right, first of all. Second, I want to get used to the car. I also got I completed an R&D objective during the practice session as well, so I've now got an extra 5% more downforce due to a new aero package. So the car feels a little bit better. It's a little bit faster, I think, which is a good thing. I needed that because I couldn't get away from the faster cars coming out of the corners, which is probably the reason why Hamilton was stuck behind me for so long. In the last race in Australia, which was really frustrating. I just couldn't drop him until the last 2 laps. I don't know whether it was the tyres or whether it was something else, but for some reason it just wasn't working out for me in Australia, despite that I got a really good start. Obviously I was holding Hamilton up and he was looking to pass me pretty much the entire race. So, you know, being a little bit faster and having that acceleration probably is going to come in handy, especially for a track like this where there's so many low-speed corners, and I need the run, especially in the the last corner as well, which is going to be probably going to be a prime overtake in place, considering 1, that massive long straight, and 2, turn 1, because of the DRS zone, which is the start-finish straight. That could come in handy. Even though I really think with the smaller kilometers they should open up DRS probably from lap 2 rather than lap 3, because for 20% race distance, pardon me, there's some fireworks outside this bonfire night, obviously, in the UK, so you're going to hear some shitty fireworks all over the place. But anyway, with the DRS thing, I think they should open it up from lap 2, I think, personally. I know that they're saying about the fuel being so close together and all that, but by lap 3, in some cases, you're a third of the way into the race, which just doesn't seem fair, in my opinion. What's the point of it if you're only going to use it for maybe 4 or 5 laps, considering you're going to be in the pits half the time as well? But yeah, I have this is my first stint. I went off the hard tyres, found out I was stunningly in 9th place with a 134, which I didn't think was that good. But I thought, okay, if I can get, you know, maybe top 10, top 12, I might go for a different strategy, go for the hard tyres, start on the hard tyres, change later on, and then try and be more aggressive and pass guys in the second half of the race. But then I thought, I've come in 9th. If I can put the soft tyres on and then really string a lap together, I might be able to, you know, maybe crack that annoying top 6 block of the Ferraris, the McLarens, and the Red Bulls, obviously. So I thought, why not put the soft tyres on, burn a set, let's see what we can do. So I thought, okay, let's go back out there, and let's have a crack on the softer tyres and see if I can, you know, maybe crack a top 6 spot. I didn't think it would take much to get there. I don't know, because I don't know how the hell that Petrov did a 131.8 round here. I don't know, maybe they're using the 11-11 glitch or something. The famous 11-11 online glitch, which I'll talk about more in my next video, which is going to be an online video, which I'll talk more about guys who are exploiting that glitch, and something that really does need to be patched very, very soon, because it's going to break the game online. That's a hell of it. I've got time in the video, I'll explain it here. The 11-11 glitch is basically, if you go to settings, and then go to your suspension and set your spring rate as high as possible, which the high setting is obviously 11, it really makes your car so much more grippy. And I think Mickey Motions from Machinima did a video on this, comparing like the spring settings on 2, 5, 8 and 11, and he found out that the 11-11s were 3 seconds a lap faster than doing a lap with your spring setting set at 8, which is really unfair. But the downside of doing this is that it wears out your tyres much faster. So I don't really mind if people were using this in single player, because there's going to be an obvious penalty. You're losing a lap of tyre wear, which can be vital, and it's probably going to enhance the effects of the cliff when your tyres wear out. But at the same time, for most online races, 90% of them are going to be sprint races. And if you're going to be doing a sprint race, there's no tyre wear penalty because it's only a 3-lap race. So people are going to be 3-4 seconds a lap faster than guys who don't exploit the glitch. They're going to be unstoppable to beat. They're going to be unbeatable. And since it's only going to be 3 laps long, there's going to be no penalty because there's no pit stops and there's no tyre wear. If it wasn't stuff like, you know, like simulation online races or co-op seasons where it's 20% race distance, and they were using the 11-11, which I wouldn't mind so much because they're just going to fall off the cliff tyre-wise and performance-wise, and they might have to pit one more time. So it's fair from a single-player standpoint and a time trial standpoint, but I think they should just nerf that online. Online is where it's going to be a problem. So if, for example, if they're not going to have tyre wear, don't give us the option to change your spring rate, because like I said, you can up it to 11, benefit from the extra grip with no downside, which I think is really unfair. So yeah, I really think they should get rid of that 11-11 glitch. Before I go and let you enjoy the rest of the gameplay, look at that 6th place there, with Adrian Sittle 5th. I was going to leave it at that, but I thought I've got to beat my teammate, so I went for another lap. Quick bit of MotoGP news. Congratulations to Casey Stoner for qualifying on pole for the final race of the season in Valencia. Congratulations to Stefan Bradl for winning the Moto2 World Championship, sort of by default because Marc Marquez couldn't ride after having impaired vision. The team didn't want to take the risk on Marc Marquez, so Bradl kind of wins the world title by default, really. So congratulations to Bradl, and congratulations to Britain's own Danny Webb for qualifying on pole for the 125cc race, which is also tomorrow. Also, I'm very glad to hear that Kevin Schwartz will be riding for the Gresini Honda team, who will be taking part in the final MotoGP race after the tragic death of Marco Simoncelli a couple of weeks ago. Pardon me. And Kevin Schwartz will be leading a one-lap procession off the track with the other bikes, with fireworks up and told, according to Eurosport 2 commentator Toby Moody. So I'm very, very glad that they'll be doing a positive tribute to Marco Simoncelli. I mean, I would have loved a minute of noise as well. That was another really good idea suggested by Marco's dad. But as you can see here, my last major lap, there you go, 132.696. I put myself 4th place behind Michael Schumacher and just ahead of Pascal Maldonado, for some reason, had qualified 5th. With a 133 dead. I don't know why some of the slower cars were breaking the higher spots on this one. Maybe the guys like Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton weren't really bothering. But yeah, 4th place, an amazing achievement here. I was going to go for one more go, but then I kind of botched my first sector, so I thought, it's probably not going to be an improvement, so let me just leave it. I'll nurse the car home back to the pits, turn my fuel revs down, so I'm going to use part revs, save the engine, it goes slower so I can protect the tyres for the race as well, because I've got to start on these tyres now come race day. So yeah, that's pretty much it really. Just going to see me driving to the pits and skip the last minute or so of qualifying when I time my head into the pits. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much to everybody who subscribed. 80 subscribers. Thanks to everybody who checked out the Forza video as well. That went down really well. Thank you so much for watching that. I really put a lot of time into that, and I'm really glad it came down well. So thank you very much, everybody. I do really appreciate it. So I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of my driving and skipping the rest of the session. I'm pretty much done here. So I've been Harrison101. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and take care. Sayonara.
Sector 1's good, but you're losing a lot through Sector 2. Brilliant drive, that's 4th on the grid. You should be really pleased with that result.